to The Hypnotist, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. Brought to you by the hypnotherapist demanded by celebrities, CEOs, and even royalty, Adam Cox. These recordings took place live from Adam's clinic in London's world-famous Harley Street. So, get yourself comfortable and enjoy today's episode of The Hypnotist.
Hi, it's Adam here, and in this episode of The Hypnotist, you're going to be listening to the second of my 3 birthday-themed hypnosis sessions to coincide with my birthday. As this goes out, literally I'm reaching the ripe old age of 44, which for some of you listening, you might be thinking I'm younger than that or perhaps older than that. But yeah, 44, I certainly don't feel it. But it has prompted me to do a hypnosis session, a series of sessions linked to birthdays. Again, the reminder is that birthdays are very emotive, symbolic milestones, and we tend to be able to preempt almost what future birthdays might be like. Where will we be? What will we be doing? And it gives us an element of kind of predicting the future or anticipating the future. So whereas the last episode was regressing to previous birthdays, in this episode, we're actually going to be going into the future and seeing what your life will be like as you visit future birthdays that haven't happened yet. Now, of course, this is all speculation, but your unconscious mind has the ability to anticipate the future. Because what else is anxiety if it's not an anticipation of the future? As is excitement. It doesn't have to be anxiety-based. You could look forward to something. So when people use these kind of language patterns of thinking about the future, they tend to have an internal timeline as to what that future will be like. And if I was to ask you, what do you think you'll be doing, or where will you be in life when you're 50 years old, 60 years old, 70 years old, 80 years old, based on your current trajectory in life and based on current choices and values, you probably would have a reasonable prediction as to where you're likely to be. And that's important because this quite often creates a self-fulfilling prophecy where you expect to be will influence life choices to steer you in that right direction. And that's why one of the most important things when setting a goal is to future pace, is to think about what your future will be like if that goal or outcome was successful, so you can test the ecology of that change and see, does it feel realistic, or if you did achieve it, what other consequences would there be in your life? So this is the point of this hypnosis session. One other thing that I've actually just introduced as well on the podcast and also the YouTube channel is a new link. And these days the podcast is getting about 5,000 downloads a day. I regularly get messages from people thanking me for the sessions and that kind of stuff. What I know is the principle of cognitive dissonance that comes from linking some kind of change with an action. So for example, the reason why therapy works much better when you work with a therapist than if you just consume free content, let's say on a podcast or YouTube, is the actual financial transaction cements the change. There's an element of thinking, well, if I'm paying for it, then therefore it's going to be more effective because you're investing something into that change process. And up to now, all that anyone listening could really do is either work with me directly, which can be cost prohibitive for quite a few people, or just give the show a 5-star review, which is really appreciated because it grows the audience. But there isn't really the ability to have that financial relationship outside of working with me on a one-to-one session. If you are interested in that, by all means, book the free 30-minute consultation call and I can explain how I would work with you. But the new thing that's just been introduced is the ability to make a small donation of £10, which is the equivalent of about $12. So what I would encourage you to consider is, If any of the episodes that you've listened to up to now has had a positive impact in your life, if you were to make a donation for that small amount for those, that will cement the progress and also mean that you're going to get more value out of any future episodes. And also, if you're intending to get value from this, even a small investment like £10 or about $12 will actually change the dynamic and the relationship so that you're getting more value out of all future episodes. So there will be a link in either the YouTube episode or the podcast where you can make that donation. Only takes a couple of minutes to do it, only if you want to. If you don't want to, not a problem, keep enjoying the content. But for those that do, you'll probably find that you're going to get even more value from the content that I create, because we're now working together as opposed to you just being a passive listener. I hope that makes sense, but certainly no pressure or obligation to make a donation. It's entirely if you want to. This session again is going to be based on a future pacing of a future birthday. So find a quiet place where you won't be disturbed, relax, and enjoy the session. Take a deep breath in. And as you breathe in that feeling of resourceful relaxation. And as you exhale, just allow yourself to release feelings of tension, taking you to deeper levels of relaxation and tranquility. Breathe in that feeling of resourcefulness and allow tension around your neck, shoulders, and face to just melt away. That's it. Allowing you to go deeper and deeper, relaxed. And as you relax, notice that your mind has this urge to close your eyes if it's safe to do so. And in doing so, your imagination becomes even more vivid, traveling through a wormhole of your own imagination to possibilities of the future. Breathing in and breathing out and noticing that it's good to feel so relaxed. And sometimes you can adjust your body to help you on that process, to enable you to really feel like you're about to unwind. That's it. Deeper and deeper. Relaxed now. That's it. And allow your imagination to take you on a journey. A journey into the future. A journey into possibility. As your mind relaxes, your imagination becomes more alert. As you think about the infinite possibilities of your future, you start to consider that you're always thinking about the future. Starting to think about next week, next month, next year. And if you're not happy about what that future only within your imagination reveals to you, then isn't it natural to want to make changes, to take your life in the very direction that means that when you think about the future, that future becomes more and more appealing. And the more appealing it is, the more resourceful you feel like you are in moving in that direction. That's right. Deeper and deeper. Relaxed. Time moves in and out like the tide and the waves on a shore. And I want you to use the power of your imagination to imagine the next really significant birthday. A round number, something ending in a 0. If you're 33, you might be thinking of your 40th birthday. If you're 44, you might think of your 50th birthday. I want you to think about the next most significant milestone birthday for you. And I want you to think about that time with just one question. And that question is, in order for you to be delighted and grateful at the point where you turn that age, what is the single most important thing that would need to be there in your life at that point? Sometimes we get lost in what we think are important things, deadlines, small things that we think are important. But I wonder, in order for you to be delighted and grateful at the very age of your next significant birthday, what is the one thing that would need to be there? What would that be in order for you to truly feel happy on that day? Is it an accomplishment? Is it feeling that you've helped others in some way? Has some significant change in your life happened that finally it's there? Consider all the different scenarios, but then more importantly, imagine that you're seeing yourself on that significant milestone birthday, celebrating your birthday. Imagine where you might be. Maybe you can imagine balloons and ribbons and banners with that age all around you. See what you would look like at that age. Do you look healthy, happy? Notice the important people around you and wonder what you did to strengthen those relationships and those bonds so those people wanted to celebrate that birthday with you. And as you consider all these things, then imagine drifting into your body. Perhaps imagine blowing out candles on a cake on that particular day. And feel how good it feels to feel like that most important thing was there. And then think back. What did you do to help that along? How much time did you invest in that area? Did you have to make big decisions, sacrifices in certain areas? What did you do to create this outcome that makes you feel proud, that makes you feel grateful? And as you experience it, notice that it must have been possible. Maybe other people have done something similar, but you just get a sense that it was possible for you. Unlock all the resources necessary and any insight that you have in that strategy, almost download it into your subconscious mind, so now that you know what it will take to do what is most important for you. And in doing so, enable you to feel deeper and deeper connected into the power of your unconscious mind. And now it's time to leave this place. If this is the next most significant birthday to you, I want you to go forward in time to what would be your last birthday. At some point, life comes to an end. And I want you to wonder that one birthday will have to be your last birthday. And you probably won't know it is your last birthday at the point where you experience it, but I want you to imagine what it would be like to fly forward in time to your last birthday. Maybe you see yourself as old. And maybe you're not even sick at that point. But I just want you to go forward in time to what you think might be your last birthday. See yourself having lived a good life. A life that you were proud of. In any life, there are numerous things to be proud of. Your contributions, your legacy. And I want you to imagine climbing into that version of you, getting a sense of what it feels like to be that age. Maybe you can see yourself surrounded by the people you care for and love most. But I want you to get a sense of what insight can you get from being this age. At this point, maybe mobility is difficult. Maybe there are aches and pains. But I want you to get a sense that you accept all of this, that we all get older. But what if you could get an essence of what it is to be this age, and think back to a feeling of gratitude. So when you return to your current age, you make the most of that relative youth. You might not feel youthful compared to when you were a child or a teenager, but compared to the oldest that you will be, every day is youthful. Every day is filled with opportunities. And as you find yourself in that version of you, celebrating your final birthday, imagine thinking back and asking yourself the question. And that question is, if I could go back in time and live a day, knowing everything that you know throughout life and just living a day again, when you were younger, what would you do with that time? Maybe you'd want to travel. Maybe you'd want to spend time with important people that maybe aren't there anymore. What conversations would you have liked to said but never got a chance to? How would you make the most of your time as you imagine being in that older body, celebrating your final birthday? What would you do if you could then go back in time and do something different? Tap into the essence of that realization. Even regret is useful if it helps you to make new choices as to what to do with your time, to do with your energy, enable you to really get a sense of what's truly important. And then imagine it's time to leave this final birthday, knowing that destiny is not written in stone. When you return to your present, you can make new decisions, new choices that can take your life into infinite possible futures. Even if your life is heading in one direction, just one decision can completely change the trajectory of your life. And as you consider that, imagine that you're now back in your body, listening to my voice in the present. Take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your nose. As you consider, every birthday is just a stepping stone crossing the river of your life. You can learn from the past and set course for the future that you want. A future that aligns with your values, what's important to you. And all of us are heading to a day where we will celebrate and experience our final birthday. And what we do in the meantime is our life. And you will awaken with a sense of desire to live your very best life. Take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your nose. Just wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, get a sense that you're in your own physical body right now. That's it. Starting to count to awaken you. 1, 2, 3, waking up. 4, 5, 6, more alert. 7, 8, open your eyes, open your eyes. 9, 10, wide awake, wide awake, wide awake.